I'm Jane Smiley. I'm an American novelist. I've written a lot of novels about a lot of different things. And one of the things I love to do is read novels by other people. The first book I'm going to recommend is an American novel from the early 20th century, My Antonia by Willa Cather. This is a novel about an immigrant to Nebraska, Antonia. It's told from the point of view of someone who knows her, who's a man, and yet he loves her and he is fond of her, and he sees her as a kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? A kind of innovator in American farming in Nebraska. She's very brave and she's very beautiful and she's quite an interesting character. Willa Cather was an interesting character too. She was one of the first American women to just be totally independent and to write what she wanted to write. And that's why she, I think, that's why she did My Antonia, because she wanted to project her own sense of independence. It does a wonderful job of evoking a specific American landscape, which is the prairies of Nebraska. And that was something that Cather was very good at, was evoking landscape and showing how the characters and the landscape mesh sometimes and don't mesh at other times. She was really good at that. The second one I'm going to talk about is, I've only read it once. It's The War of the End of the World by Mario Vargas Llosa. It's set in Brazil. And it's about what we in America would call a cult leader who has a following and who is in some ways more sympathetic than cult leaders maybe that we have in America. But there's something about the way Vargas Llosa develops the character of the cult leader and then all of the conflicts that come along with the building up of the cult. And once again, like Cather, he's wonderful at evoking the landscape and the natural relationship between the human characters and the world that they live in. It is extremely long, 920 pages, but every page is extremely readable. And I'm a big fan of Vargas Llosa's work, and I think this is his best book. And the last one I'm going to talk about is Kindred by Octavia Butler, which is maybe the best book I've ever read about racial relations in America. The main character lives in modern Los Angeles. She lives what we would call today quite a normal life. And then she's magically sent backward to the world of slavery, the world of slavery before the Civil War. And she goes back and forth. And so the modern Octavia, or the modern version of the character, has to come to terms with what was really going on in those days. And as she does, she gives the modern reader a really strong sense of life under slavery and what it felt like. It's absolutely brilliant from beginning to end. Everybody I know thinks it's probably the best book about the history of slavery because it includes a modern perspective, the perspective of what it feels like to be a black woman in America now. and it's a really great novel. The book I'm here to talk about is 1,000 Acres, which is a rewrite of Shakespeare's tragedy King Lear, set on a farm in Iowa in the 1980s when there was a farm crisis. It's from the point of view of the oldest daughter, Ginny, who is based on Goneril, the oldest daughter of Lear. It grew out of the fact that I wanted Ginny, or rather Goneril and Regan in King Lear, to have a voice and to say why they do what they did. It was not easy to write, but it wasn't that hard to write. And it's been a big success.
This is not nearly enough to satisfy me. I want all of it.
Delicious.